All right, welcome to the Mafia Romance Readathon.
Hi.
So, welcome everybody. While we wait for people to show up, Jen, I feel like everyone knows who you are, but if you want to introduce yourself and your channel, and Helen, you as well.
All right. Well, hello, my lovely minions. Who will make it to the top of the hierarchy with me? Because I rule it all. It's right now. It's just me. So if you're coming for me, you better be sharp. But anyway, welcome. Thank you so much. Yes, I'm Jen from the Book Refuge. This readathon is my brainchild, but I couldn't do it without my lovely friends. So happy to have you guys here for the. I know, right? That was so dramatic, Ruth. I was not prepared, but yeah. Should we say what we're reading too,
Yeah,
or
you can share what you're reading.
yes? So I am reading my fanfic right now that I got, which is "Let Me Ruin You" by LJL Writer, and that is a hauling off fic with Ilya is running away from the Bratva, and he ends up in Shane's ER because Shane is a trauma surgeon, and just chaos delights in it so far. So that is what's going on, and I'll be working on another baby blanket while we do that. So that's me.
Very nice. Helen, what
Yeah.
about you?
Yeah, hi everyone. So I'm Helen. I have a channel called What Helen Reads. I do read a lot of Mafia Romance. So if you ever need any Mafia Romance recommendations, check out my channel. Every sort of once a month on a Monday, I'll do a Mafia Romance Monday edition. So check those out. Because I'm in the UK, it's actually 11 o'clock here now. I was just telling the guys. So I will be ducking out shortly. I just wanted to pop in and say hi. But because it's almost the end of the day, I've had 24 hours at this already. So I've actually finished 2 books already.
Nice.
I've finished The Hermit by Michelle Hurd. That's a really quick audiobook and
Yep.
really good. I highly recommend. And then I've just finished a short, really quick read novella called Ink and Obligations by Marianne Black. I'd never heard of that before, but it was a really, really quick read. I literally read it in 2 hours tonight. So ticked off 2 already. And I'm going to start tomorrow King of Obsession, Bianca Burrell, which was a recommendation from Amber. So trying to score myself some points there. So that's what I'm doing.
That's awesome. I feel like I'm behind already. I just started.
I had a head start.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
time. I'm reading his Tesoro. Is that how that name is pronounced? Okay. I am absolutely loving it. So it's kind of reminding me of the Perfectly Imperfect series in terms of like tone. Like it's very cute
Yep.
mafia, which I'm really in the mood for. So I'm loving
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. No, that's a great one.
I
Yeah.
sped through these
Hello.
already, but hi everybody.
Who's narrating that one? I haven't tried the audiobooks for those because I'm on
Um
our ARC team. So
Teddy Hamilton, which I realized right as it started, and I was like, I know this voice. This is gonna be great. So,
yes. Yeah. It's
I'm
funny.
going to start Michelle Hurd's new release, Possessive Enemy.
Yes. Yeah.
And
It's
beautiful
fun.
Torment.
Oh, good one. It's fun to see like which books kind of take over the readathons each year. And I feel like the past couple, it's been a lot of Neva. And then at the very beginning, of course, there's Cora Riley and Maggie Cole and Sophie Larkin. All of those ones really like were what was hot. And it's fun to see which ones take over at each time. And I think Michelle Hurt, she just has such a big backlist at this point. And I mean, to be fair, I recommend her in every Mafia video that I do. So obviously, our recommendations tend to guide the what everyone's reading, but it's fun to see too. And Mila Kane, I'm excited for more people to read her because I love her stuff. So
Yeah, really good.
She just came out with another audiobook, didn't she? Mila Vane or something?
Mila Kane, there's a Mila Vane is the fantasy author, but Mila Kane, yes,
Is that the one that wrote Unholy Vows? Okay. Did
I
she
think
just came out with a new audio? Because I thought I now subscribe to her Instagram.
yeah, I don't know if the newest one is the newest. Did they get that one done day and date? I don't know because Dell is who's publishing her now. She went trad pub with that series, which is
Oh,
awesome.
that is
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, those ones are with Dell now. And I know the first two audios were out, so I don't know if the third one's is or if it was the second one, but I know she did have one come out.
I read a lot of shorter ones for Mucho points last year, so this year I'm starting with Host Rec King of Obsession by Bianca Borel.
Nice. Yeah, I'm going with, for a Host Rec, I'm going with Helen's pick. I only picked one of ours just because, again, I have a lot on my TBR, so I didn't want to like go too crazy with reading ones that are new on my TBR. I wanted to read older ones on my TBR is what I like to do. But the Annika Martin's the Host Rec I'm gonna do. But then where did I put that? I don't know. I went also on my book recommendation form because I have Mafia Recs going back 6 years on there. So I also like always pick one from there. And the one I'm interested in on there was called Stolen. That's the one I'm going to try. That's my new to me author because I've read Annika Martin before, so I can't pick her. But J. Marie, I've never heard of them before, and that one was on my viewer rec form. So
interesting. Not even heard of that one.
Can you count new to me author if the author uses a pen name? No, darn it. Figured I would try.
No, especially not for us. Not for us.
Well, anyway, I didn't realize Adelaide Forrest was Harper L. Woods, and then someone left a comment, and they're like, "I think you have read that author before," and I was like, "Oh, darn it!" That just
that's a little mean.
Yeah. I know. I mean, now she works as a host rec because I think both Ellen and I have wrecked her, but so maybe she trips out. But yeah, that's a sore subject for me actually because I'm really bummed that she won't go back to those. She left 2 series hung, 2 Mafia series hung. The 6th book in a series that's like was the final one. It also was the end of the rainbow, not to go on a total rack, but each one was a color in the rainbow and she hasn't done the purple one at the end.
Oh, that would drive me insane.
Oh my god, it totally did. I actually ended up like giving away those books because I was like, I can't look at these anymore. And when I met her in person, I know she had to have been hearing it all day, but all I did was say how much I love the books because I was like, I'm not going to ask for this. Like, who am I? But she was like, yeah, those characters aren't talking to me. And then like signed my book and I was like, I didn't even say that I wanted it. Anyway, I'm not here to start the next Tracy Dion thing. I totally understood. I was at a book signing and I was like, oh, I love your Mafia characters. And she's like, yeah, I'm not writing those now. And I'm just like, okay, I know, please sign my book. But then she left a duology hanging. She just left a duology just open too. So both of these Mafia series, which I love, she left them for the fantasy ones. So maybe someday she'll get, tapped out of those and then come back. But I love her Mafia books.
That's okay. I think I terrified Mila Finelli when I met her recently because I was like, oh my God, you're my pick for a Mafia Romance Readathon. And I was talking like a mile a minute. And she was probably like, who is this person?
Oh my God.
Why are they doing
shoot? In a shoot. Oh my God. That's amazing. I love that. Yeah. She's a double whammy too.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
And I just got an email from her. I think it was yesterday or even today, and she's actually obviously because we're waiting for her new book in the Mafia series, right? But she's not done that. She's written a different one, but it's still going to be Mafia themed, which will be interesting.
Yeah, I was seeing that. I mean, I don't know what happened there. Funny enough, I wonder if that series is going to get picked up for trad, and that's why she stopped. Just my suspicion, because it would be really ironic if they dropped her historicals and pick up her Mafia. That would be not that it would be the same publisher, but I don't know, like waiting on that 3rd book and it getting pushed, that has been a sign lately that an author's getting trad pub for their series. Just something that I've noticed when they like have it set and they're normally a regular author. Like that's what I think is happening with Rhea Morris Edwards too. Like her books keep getting pushed and then she's getting, I'm like, I think she's getting trad pub too. So anyway, sorry, people are talking.
No, you're good. Becky, if you're still here, I need to know if you liked his Tesoro because I'm loving it, and I think our reading taste is finally aligned. Me and Becky had polar opposite reading taste for a solid like 2 years, and suddenly we're loving the same books.
Yeah.
I think so, right?
Yeah, we count that series. That book itself doesn't lean into it as much, but like 3 out of the 6 do. So we just count her. Like we just count her. I've said that in a previous readathon. I think we even had God of Malice was one. No, it was God of Fury. You
It was
picked
God of Fury. It was my pick.
Yeah. But I think books 3, 6, and 3, 5, and 6, or 3, 4, 5. I don't know, are, so you can absolutely count God of Malice. That's fine. Don't worry about it.
Finished
Ooh,
Unholy Vows and his
Oh, well
Tesoro.
done.
damn, girl must have. I mean, you're halfway there already. I'll tell you
Yeah.
that. You've read both of those. I'm glad you loved them. Unholy Vows is so fun.
Her Blondie crime series.
Yep.
Belladonni? I don't know
Yep.
that one.
Blondie. Yep. That's the Adelaide Forest.
Mm-hmm.
The 5-book one.
Yeah.
That is so funny, Becky. I love that you love those ones. Those ones are so dark.
I'm reading Bound by Honor first. I'm almost done with it.
Nice. Classic.
LOL, I didn't. I gave it 2 stars. Darn it, Becky. We were so close.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't think she liked it, but I wasn't going to speak for her.
To be fair, well, I'm also not finished it yet, so it could go downhill. But as of now, I'm really, really liking it.
Oh, I think you're gonna like it. I am confident.
Yeah.
Because like even my problems with Amelia Rossi are not usually anyone else's problems, and like I like that book too. The third one was actually like the roughest one for me. His Empress, but it was still good.
Yeah.
Finished Chain Me by Bianca Cole this morning. Loved it. Great chemistry and tension between the couple.
Oh, is that a new one of hers? Because I used to read loads of Bianca Cole, but I kind of like burnt myself out on her, and I haven't gone back in absolutely ages.
Yeah.
She writes quite cruel heroes.
Ooh.
And I used to really like that, but then I kind of went off it a bit.
Same. Yeah,
I'm
Jane Henry. Yeah, I know. Jane Henry, Bianca Cole, and Nicole Fox were all 3 authors that I read a lot of those. And then I was like, I'm just not cool with the level of like torture eventually, you know.
Did you read Souls in Ruin?
Yes.
You said torture. That's immediately what I thought of. We're gonna have to talk about that later.
Yeah, we could talk about it off stream because I haven't stopped thinking about it. But I read Souls in Ruin and Direbound literally back to back because I had to read them I annotated both of those for people, so I read them physically. And yeah, I have interesting thoughts on them. Not bad ones, literally interesting thoughts on them because I think everyone wants to make stuff a 2-team system. And literally both of those are 2 different versions of a like team system. And I just have so many interesting thoughts on them.
Hi, Bree.
Hey, girl.
Yes, Helen's one of her newest series. The audiobooks are all great. Her latest. Oh, I'm downloading that audiobook.
Yeah. I'll check her back out then. I might see what she's up to. It's been a while since I've read one of hers.
Yeah.
Are we ready to start the first sprint? We have one more. I think my biggest problem with his Tesoro was the age gap, but you like those, so I think you'll end up enjoying it.
That's
I do love an age gap.
Yeah. And mine was different too, but I'm waiting for you to finish it and then I'll see what you think because
I can hopefully finish it during these sprints. So.
Oh yeah, you're close?
Yeah. Not this first one, the second one definitely, because I think I have an hour and like 10 minutes left.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah.
Cool.
No, I'm ready. Let's do it.
Right.
I'll say bye to Helen.
Yeah, say goodbye. I'll see you on Saturday if anyone can join me. It'll be early for you guys, but see you then.
Bye.
All right, and we're starting.
All right.
So I must have fallen asleep while I was listening to this because I just had to rewind like an entire hour. So I now have an hour and a half left. So I was listening. I'm like, I don't even remember this character. Like, what happened?
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
So, oops.
That's actually why I don't listen like right before bed or anything anymore. I have to like read physically because I have. So I'm reading on my Kindle stand because I'm crocheting at the same time. So I put on my Kindle stand and then I can do both. And I have one in my room as well that goes over my bed. And pretty much every night I wake up with my like remote across my chest and it like this far from my face. And then I like, oops, moved over.
One of my
But I
patrons
used to drop it on my face. So at least when I fall asleep, it's like doesn't fall on my face anymore.
One of my patrons has that exact same thing because she said she used to drop it all the time because she'll join Patreon like completely vertically. And we're like, how are you reading? And she'll like pan up and her Kindle's like hovering above her head. And I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
I need to like up my game.
Oh, it's great. It's great because it also helps my neck because I don't like bend to look at it. Like you can put it literally above your face. But
yeah,
no, I have one on my coffee table so that I can read and do projects at the same time. And then I have one in my room and they're great. I'm like, they're excellent.
Jess says hello. Hi, friends. Popping in to
Hey.
say hey and happy reading.
Hey, girl.
Also curious if you guys heard that Windy City by Liz Tom 40 got picked up for a TV show. I did see that.
I did. I love it.
Did you read that whole series?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I have not.
I haven't gotten to In Her Own League yet because I keep getting distracted, but I have the audio for that. But no, I've been reading that since book 2. Like I read it right after book 2 and on. But I'll say this to everyone. I'll believe it when they set a date for the show. I excited that she got a payday, but I'll believe it when they set a date because when they announce those shows, y'all, it just means they sold the rights. Even if they're like, oh, they're working on the scripts right now, I'm like, I'll believe it when they set a date. Like one of my favorite novels of all time, T.L. Swan's, got picked up. There was a script floating around for that literally 5 years ago because Tiff from Tiff Talks Pages, we had her like looking into it. She knows people in the industry and everything. She was actually a script reader back in the day. I don't know if she still does it or not, but like it means nothing till they set a date, right? Like, like Off Campus got purchased how many years ago before it got done, where and then we all know I can't go a live stream without saying it. He did Rivalry, did it all in less than 18 months. Like it just depends.
It's
Like
crazy
once
how
you hear
fast.
Yeah, Outlander was owned for 15 years before it got dropped and then picked up by Stars. Like, it doesn't mean anything till they set a date. Even when they cast actors sometimes, because sometimes you can cast someone to it right away, but until you have it down. I mean, look at what happened with SJM's titles. Those were already picked up, and then now she has everything back again. So
I was waiting.
You're getting to it.
I actually I don't think the SJM, I'll even watch it when it comes out because I don't think anything is going to be as good as what my mind has come up with, and I don't want it like tainted in any way.
Yeah, I will if she does it someday. Like, those of us who listen to the interview, she's like, I can't focus on it right now, but I have all the rights back and I'm not going to sell them again. But the difference is when she sold them, she wasn't a like billionaire. I'm not saying she is, but like she's a multi-millionaire.
Probably like she's
like, and so her saying like someday when I'm like done writing, I'll make them, which we could be grandmas by then. Like she could be doing it.
But
then,
how
right?
she's coming out with books, sure.
Right. And I want her to keep writing. I would rather have the books than the show.
Yeah.
But there's plenty of other people's, right? Like Anna Huang's got picked up. Kennedy Ryan, 2 different series got picked up from hers. Like now she's actually working on one of the series herself, so that's good. But the Hoop series, did people just forget? That was one of the first ones that got picked up for a Prime show, and nothing's ever happened with it. Who else? There's so many other people. There's 2 different historical series that got picked up after Bridgerton, and nothing's happened with those. So like I don't get excited till they set a date. Otherwise, you know,
Elsie Silver also got picked up, didn't she? I'm pretty sure.
both of her series are picked up. One's for like a movie and one's for TV. Both two series have been picked up. So that means they made money, which is why I go, yay, when I see that, but I'm not excited to see it until they set
until
a
it's
date.
Actually.
So, no, I of course was happy, but I mean, it literally means nothing until, you know, like there's people talking about like, what's the other one? There was another one that just got picked up. Oh, Alexis Hall, the boyfriend material, that one got picked up.
Oh, I didn't know that one got picked up.
Yeah, boyfriend. That one could be so cute. That'd be great. That's already a super low spice one, so they have like a low barrier to entry anyway. I believe that one has closed door, at least in the first one, because I was kind of bored actually, I'm not gonna lie, in that one. because I read Alexis Hall's other books, which were erotic romance, and then he wrote A Closed Door, and I was like, what? What'd you do? I love your stuff. So anyway, I'm just rambling about it, but
fair.
You know, any of the dark romance ones that have been picked up, I will believe it when they set a date, because I do not believe they are ready to do an actual dark romance one justice and not have it be 365. So
it depends who picks it up. Like I can see HBO picking up a dark romance or something like that, but most places,
Yeah, but hearing how they were like afraid to even do spice in a contemporary book.
Yeah.
And they were HBO and they were afraid to do that in one. What are you going to do when it's one where it has non-con in it or dubious consent? Like, is it JT's who got picked? Something by JT got picked up. I don't know if it was her. I don't know if it was her Mafia, but I thought one of her books was getting picked up. So I just don't believe it, y'all. I think they're buying them up, but I just don't believe it. And so I'm happy for the authors that they're making the money, because selling their rights on those, good for them. But I think we need to see a lot more adaptations come out and do well, and it happened. And also, just look at what's happening to actors who are in those. Okay. And I'm not even just talking about our boys here. I'm talking about in other ones too that are adaptations. Like, think back to the YA ones, like how insane their lives are. Like, I watched a documentary that just came out on the Twihard life. Like, those actors' lives were ruined for a decade after it. So people have no chill. So anyway, go ahead. Read some comments. I'll chill for a second.
No, I'm fine with keeping going with this, but I'm actually, let me go back to I also do this with the audiobooks. I always have a sleep timer. Something tells me I put the sleep timer on and immediately passed out because I'm missing about 45 minutes, and that's what I set my timer for.
Yeah, well, that's good. That means you got some good sleep. But I see what you
that is good. Yeah. Hi, Christy. Yeah. Hi, Jess.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see what's happening with Off Campus. I'm reading this contemporary romance with a MMC who is a tour guide. I love when characters have unique jobs. What has been the most unique job you've read?
That's difficult.
Yeah.
I feel like in fiction there's a lot of like really random ones.
I want to say vet, which like isn't super unique, but that's what keeps coming to my mind right now.
A what? A vet?
Like a vet. I don't know. Like, what's a unique job?
That's funny. Man, I can't think of anything that feels that crazy now saying that. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I literally can't think of a single job anyone's ever had now that you've asked me that, Becky. So, don't know.
Casino? Yeah, like I'm looking at all of my things and I'm like, all of their jobs are like not, I don't know.
I love it. Yep.
Totally agree. Book to TV adaptations take forever.
Yep.
If people were so upset about Fairy Loot fan art for SJM, I don't even want to know the reaction to casting a TV show. I think it should be animated, but like animated like the show Arcane kind of animation where it's like really good animation. That's the only way I'm watching it.
Yeah. I don't know. That would be interesting. No, I personally don't really want any of our fantasy ones to be made. I just don't. I don't
Yeah.
want any of the fantasy ones to get made. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't want it to happen. Like Sinlin, you sold the film rights. Like, how do you do that? Like,
That's
how
a
do you
weird
do
one
that?
because then you're like, that's odd.
You know,
I
like
don't know how that
again, I
works.
was like, girl, or they got like a 7-figure deal for it, they said. So that's insane. Like, take that money. Like, if I got offered that, I'd say take my money and run. They got to figure out how to make it work, you know? Ones I want to see though, I come back to this. My like one I've been riding high. Did you ever try Jade City yet, Jess?
Yeah, I read the first book. I have to continue.
Okay, girl, you have to continue. I am ride or die that if someone's not working on Jade City yet, they need to, and they need to cast Hudson Williams as the brother in there, the younger brother who becomes the boss. They need to do that. Like, literally, I have looked at fan art of it after he wore that emerald gem to the one of the events. I was like, put 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 him in that. All right. The smoking, he can smoke all day in there. The hair, the gems, like, I just need it to happen. The snake imagery, he wears like Bulgari puts him in like snakes all the
Yes.
time, and I'm just literally like, anyway, Jade City, either way though, would make a great one because that's the type of one that like it's a fantasy, but it's like urban fantasy,
Yeah.
and they're all regular people. The magic can be CGI, but mostly it's them like just being super strong or like mentally controlling something. Like, it doesn't have to do with doing spells. There's no wands. There's no anything. It's just people wearing jade, looking sexy, killing people. That's it. Like,
I
he's
can see
already a
that.
fighter. He's already a fighter, everyone. Okay, who's listening to our live stream here? Okay, he already knows martial arts. Like, put him in it, man. Like, oh, Fonda Lee is fantastic. I can't
And
believe you've only read the first one.
realistically, I'll watch anything he's in. So
Oh god, but it'd be so good. Like Jade City or the Greenbone Saga is just a fantastic show, and like Lucy Liu as the villainess in there, the villainess who's on the other team, like because she's an older, like classy ass lady. Like, oh my god, her in there.
I saw her in person like 2 years ago. She is much shorter than you would expect, and she's just
Yeah,
like gorgeous. Like, you know
but
those
she
people that like
like,
radiate beauty? Like you see her and you're like, "Oh
mm-hmm.
my god, the TV doesn't even do her justice."
And I, of course, I can't remember any of the names, but then also like she would just be so good as the role as the villain in that. Well, not even the villain; they're all villains. Let's be honest; they're all bad people in there. They're like bad mafia, yakuza style thing going on, but they're also just so fantastic. And the mind games in that series, like Jade City has the potential to be like a modern Game of Thrones version, like meets the Sopranos. Like, that is what it is. So anyway,
They got to get on it.
they do. I am honestly shook that no one has for that property. Like, it's a very well regarded property. And it's also, and I say this with no shade to it, it's also very diverse. It could be a great cast of people. It's very like, culturally respectful to that side of things too. And it's also badass. So I'm like, why are we wasting time?
They might be holding on to it, like what Sanderson did with Mistborn, where he's like, "I'm not giving this away to anyone until I know that it's going to be perfect." Which I don't
It
blame him
could
for.
be. I also think like Fonda Lee isn't the same level as him.
Yeah.
Like, Brandon has sold pieces before. He's another case that he's gotten everything back because they didn't do anything with it. But I kept wanting to comment on this, Becky. I'm rereading book 1 as well, but I have to say, seeing everyone's reactions who got to go made me very sad because I did get invited to the showing of those, and I'm very sad that I'm a poor Midwesterner because I definitely wanted to go. But
I have a
I'll watch it with you guys.
I have a confession. I didn't love that series. I quit after book 3. So everyone's so excited for this show, and I'm like, yeah.
But just remember, I quit after book 1 of the Heated Rivalry books.
Yeah. Well, actually, so did I. But then I gave the show a chance.
Didn't like it. I don't even know if when I read Heated Rivalry if I would have liked it, because I would have been like, ew, these boys are just fucking and nothing's happening. It takes the
because of the narrator, though. It wasn't even the
Right.
story. I just couldn't get, and I'm so sorry to that guy because I know he's like pretty famous and stuff.
I know, I love him. He's great. He's great.
Seems like a great person.
He gets so much shit. He gets so much shit, and when he's like, I didn't know y'all were gonna make this so great.
Like, I feel bad.
He could have done a bit more research for what the accent that Kip has should be. But to be fair, Kip in the book is kind of a Dumbo, like with the most love ever. He makes smoothies and doesn't do much.
What? Like Jennifer L. Armentrout got picked up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Jennifer's was picked up years ago.
Oh, I
Hazelwood, that one's coming. But the Allie Hazelwood one is coming. I believe that one's cast and everything.
It is. It's cast.
That one is like coming.
Oh no, the Allie. One of the castings I hate. I think Schwarzenegger's son.
Yeah, everyone got. Well, there's another one people were mad about. Was it the Carly Fortune one? Everyone's mad about the casting.
I haven't seen the casting.
Okay, there's for something, but. What else
was the Summer Ever After? Is that her book that got adapted? I don't even know which one of her books got adapted.
That one might be it. I don't know. I haven't read any of those ones. But I was going to continue about Off Campus. Off Campus, I am like kind of shocked that one's getting done because I do love The Deal. I don't really love many of the other ones. But I think honestly, like there's so much potential there though, because you have the people who will willingly love the show more. Like, I think I'm going to love the show more than, I mean, maybe not than The Deal, because again, I love The Deal. I cry every time I read The Deal. But just rereading that, I'm like, oh my God, Garrett is so dumb in the beginning of the book. And I love him. I love Garrett Graham, okay? I'll ride or die for him because he is just more emotionally intelligent than you think. But rereading that, the dude's hooking up with other chicks in the first, like, fourth of it. And Hannah just has like no time for him, and it isn't until he has a chance to show it. But then you see the trailers for it, and I'm like, but I feel like that works in a show better than in a book because you don't have the inner dialogue to drag him down.
Potentially, and I feel like because I did that with Bridgerton, I didn't love Bridgerton, but I love the show.
Yep, yeah. So it'll be interesting. I think it could be really fun. So.
The only jobs coming to mind are CEO, rancher, and athlete. Yeah, those are, but I feel like those are the common ones.
Right. Well, she's saying that, though. The only jobs coming to my mind. I will admit, I did not foresee that ranchers, dairy farmers, and cowboys would become so big as they have. Like, if you'd asked me 6 years ago. Like, I know a cowboy can be sexy, okay? But that will always be my thing for all time. I love it. And I'd only read a couple, and they're mostly in historical. But there are like dairy farmers in plenty of series, and I'm like, y'all deciding you really like dairy farmers at this point. Wasn't expecting that. Like, that's where I'm from, and I'm like, I'm telling you, there's no young, sexy dairy farmers. Okay, they're all in their 70s or 80s. Or it's a family line.
Dairy farmer books I've read are monster romances. I don't think I've read it.
No. Yeah. Nope. Kristen Proby has multiples. Lena Hendricks has, well, he's not a dairy farmer, he's a small farmer, but literally Kristen Proby has one. And what's that other series? Literally, who is in that one? Are they both Kristen Proby books? Maybe she has two different series that have dairy farmers.
I have dairy farmers.
There's another one as well. Yeah. There's another one too. Oh, not Catherine Cowles. I don't know.
That's a good question. What if the fantasy ones were made to the same caliber as Lord of the Rings? I just don't think they would be. If they were, and they cast unknown actors, I might be convinced to like the fantasy.
They just wouldn't.
But they're not.
They just would not put the money behind unknown people. I really hate to be a bore, but I'm like, they wouldn't put it behind romance, and they wouldn't put it behind an unknown actor in one that is of the same caliber as LOTR, right? That breaks my heart to say, but the only way that's happening is if SJM does it with her own ass money. Yes. The way that Heated Rivalry was made for no money. And even that was $3 million an episode, which we're like, what? But that's no money.
Yeah.
And that's your actors thinking that it's not paying them enough, that they don't have to go back and be waiters. Like, they literally would be waiters if nobody watched that show. Still, they would be going back to being waiters because it didn't pay them anything. All the money they may have now is from Tiffany and Bulgari and Peloton. Like, that's why our boy, and I mean, Quinn might have paid them more than they were paid in Canada. I'm just saying, Quinn probably paid them more because they have Sam Heughan, who is doing one this week. So they did not make money on that show. It's all the exposure that got it to them. So
season 2 might be a little different. They might make a little bit more money this time, but
I mean, not according to Jacob. He could be lying to us, but it's Canadian public television. All of it is there. It's still being made in Canada, and because like in all of his interviews, he says that he's like, we're not getting much more money at all.
that stinks.
That I mean, because again, it's Canadian public television, so they allot you the money that you can have, and it's like if you were able to make something so great with only, why would they give you more money? And that's why, sorry, I'm going on a rant about this. That's why there was so much made about the fact like the guys were locked in for 3 seasons. They're literally locked in for 3 seasons at what they were paid for the first one. So sure, there could be reason to renegotiate, but if Canada's not going to offer the money for it, they're not going to walk away from the show.
No,
so
not at this point.
They're locked in. Yeah, their contract was locked in for 3 seasons.
I didn't realize that. I didn't think they'd even think it would go to 3 seasons. I thought they would just assume they'd get the one and hope it was popular enough to get the second.
Well, because I've done a lot of looking into this when I made my video on it. That's why I know, and all the interviews I watched with him. And like, well, he didn't say this, but the reporters who looked into it in articles did, is that they were locked in for 3 seasons, but it was an option after each season. So that's why before it fully dropped, they were picked up for season 2, but they're still not even technically locked in for season 3 yet. I'm sure they are, because, you know, they're going to make more than 2 seasons. But the way the contract works is there's an option after each one, but they are committed to doing 3 if the studio wants 3. So they can't just back out if they get offered more money or whatever. They are locked in to make 3 seasons of it. And if they end up doing more seasons, they'll have the negotiation power for, like, they could be paid much more for a 4th season, which is why hearing, you know, Jacob start to float that, like, I didn't say I'd do the whole thing in 1 season. I'm like, sir, yes, you kind of did, but now you're changing your mind and I'm okay with it. But, you know, before, like, he was hinting that it would be like a season per book, and now it's kind of like, I don't know if you can make it more, but it won't be until they negotiate a season 4 that they have the chance to make more money on Heated Rivalry. So anyway, I know too many things, everyone. I know too many things.
You went down a rabbit hole of Heated Rivalry. Honestly, I'm impressed. I think it's honestly better when they rake a very unknown series and turn it into a show movie, and then it becomes popular. 100%. I think that's the better way of doing it.
Oh, yeah.
I just want a live action romance drama show set in ancient Greece. All of the chaos and storylines and mystical elements would be so fun to watch. Agreed.
Well, we're getting that.
What are we getting?
Jacob Tierney's making a Greek-based thing that is it's a like teacher and student-esque type of thing.
Ooh.
Yep. One of the other books that he just got optioned was a Greek or I don't know if it was Greek or Roman, honey, so don't quote me, but he's making that. He used his clout to get that.
Oh my god, lucky I saw her in The Devil Wears Prada too. I have to see that still.
Oh, Lucy.
They take their sweet time with these romance adaptations, but Colleen Hoover books keep coming out left and right. I know. Every 5 seconds.
I mean,
I feel like after Bridgerton, the romance book community is getting so flooded by buyouts. After not loving how Bridgerton turned out, I may not want to see these, to be honest. Yeah.
I stand by that any change we're going to see because of Heated Rivalry, we're still a few years away from, because anything that was being made already is already going. And so I think it might take a while to see people being like, oh, you mean we can be faithful to the adaptation material? And people will still watch it?
Craziness.
I think we're always away from seeing that, you know? Oh my God, this is what the fans were wanting? I thought they wanted us to do it different. And it's like, no, you absolute imbeciles. We wanted it the way it was supposed to be. But anyway.
Hi, Lizelle.
Hey, girl.
I really don't think studios are putting that level of effort, locations, and artistry anymore. It's really sad. Yep. Agreed.
Agreed. If we accept slop, they feed us slop, though. So I know. Tomorrow. Very excited.
Slay.
Yep.
And not just watch it, but I'll be consumed by it. And I loved it.
That's right.
Did I catch up? Okay. We got up on comments.
Sweet.
Do we want to do another 45-minute?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Girl, I'm here all day, girl.
Let's set that up then. No, I'm really liking this book, and this is like forcing me to actually sit and read and not get distracted. So
I know, man.
it works for me. All right. See everybody in 45.
Daily Mail did their due diligence. They went ahead and confirmed that they would.
There you go. How's that going?
I think you're frozen on my end.
Oh no. Am I frozen?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, take me out and put me back. There. Is that better?
No, I don't see you, but it might just be me. If anyone's in the chat.
Yeah, you're like up there for me. So
yeah, that's so weird.
Like I'm up there and I can see both of us. So you'll just have to listen to my voice.
Yeah, I can listen to you. That's totally fine. Yeah, so
that's weird though.
I'm loving this book as of now. Although it definitely, the spice is not what I was expecting, but I'm here for it.
Yeah. Well, it's fun though. In that one, I like did you have the scene with the like sex aid in it?
With the what?
With the like sex aid that's in there?
The pillow?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm there in his office right now and he's having her sit still using a certain body part.
Oh, some good old cock warming happening.
Yes, I was just like, ooh, this got spicy.
Oh yes. Yeah. No, she does not stuff.
Well, it was just very cute up until then, and I'm like, okay, nice.
Oh yeah. I mean, she still does like it naughty, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I just realized this is a new to me author. I've never read any of her other stuff, so that worked.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah. I thought Cruel Love was a mafia book, but the more I read it, the more I think it's secret society, dark romance. But I'm enjoying it. And read Juliet next. Who is Cruel Love by? I don't even know that title.
Yeah, who's that author? Not sure that I know.
Because I know other 3 books on my TBR are mafia books. Oh, Jen.
Oh. Well, am I anymore? I don't see the
I can hear Jen, but I can't see her. Hold on, let me remove you again.
I don't know.
Can you drop out and then come back in?
Yes, I can. All right, I'll come back. Hold on.
Yeah, let's see if that works. I didn't think his Tesoro felt. Yeah, it doesn't feel super, super mafia. Like, I keep waiting for more mafia to come in, and it hasn't happened yet. H.K. Hunter. Oh, that's the author. Oh, now I see you. Now we're good.
There we go. Perfect.
H.K. Hunter is the author. I don't recognize that author.
Yeah, never heard of that. Yeah, I had never heard of this author before his Tesoro, which makes sense because her other stuff is, I think, Omegaverse, which I do not read that. And then this one got recommended because of the like wheelchair and that it was the same disease that or condition that Fourth Wing lady has, is why this was recommended.
Oh, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not named in Fourth Wing because it's a fantasy world, but the Ehlers-Danlos condition, it's the same one. And so that's why people are like, oh, there's a mafia that has it. And I was like, what? That's so cool.
So far, the disability rep has been really good. Like, it's very prominent. I feel like sometimes I read books that say they have disability rep and it's just kind of mentioned and it's not really like expanded upon. I do think the author's doing a great job.
Yeah. And because book 2 is she has anxiety and of course this just went out of my head, but the agoraphobia.
Okay.
And then book 3, she has ADHD and she's like medicated, and then it's a surprise pregnancy, so she has to
stop her medication.
Like stop taking her medication. Yeah. Ooh. So that one is not like, I mean, it's still in there, like the rep is in there, but it's also like not the same in like intensity, I think, of it, which makes sense. I mean, one of my cousins had to go off her meds for her pregnancies, and she's basically was off of it for 7 years because she had like all her kids. She was either breastfeeding or pregnant the whole time.
Yeah.
And hers, like, I'm not, of course, it wasn't fixed or anything, but she said that like having kids actually like focused her more. So like now that she's all the way off, they're trying like a different kind of medicine with her now because
And
how much
also,
her
I think
hormones changed and everything.
hormones
So
like can
yes,
affect that too. Because I know I had a
yeah,
friend that used to get like migraines where she could not function after having kids, has never had one since.
yeah, yeah.
So
And I mean, it totally makes sense too. And not to, this isn't, of course, it's different for everyone, but I never had migraines until my birth control. And I was on birth control for 7 years because they were helping with my periods, and I lost weight. And then I went off of that just to try it. You know, I'm not trying to have a baby or anything, but I also didn't need a birth control for, sorry to not get, start to get personal with everyone, but I'm just saying I never had migraines
yeah.
before that. And it definitely like helped a little bit being off of that. Now I get migraines from other stuff, but I never had them before I had that. And it took 5-6 years before my doctor finally asked that question. Did you have these before? You know, whereas I've had other friends who tried 4 different types of birth control to find a good one. Like I was put on one and I just was on one and no one ever asked me those questions.
That's
So
crazy.
I do wonder if it changed me in some way because I don't
Yeah.
remember ever having those.
We're trying to figure out what's causing mine right now. I have to wear an eye patch because I have a slight wandering eye, and they're thinking that could be causing it. So
It's
when I
so
get off of
weird.
here, I'm gonna have an eye patch on for the rest of the night,
Yeah.
which is
I
great.
mean, that's just so wild too, because a migraine can be a symptom of literally so many things. I mean,
Yeah.
not to be the most dramatic, but my aunt started getting migraines, and then they put her in an eye patch because they thought it was an ocular thing, and then I'm so sorry to say this, then they discovered a brain tumor
Oh
in my aunt.
God, yeah.
Yeah, I know, I'm so sorry.
Okay.
But literally, they had never looked for hers, and it was at the point of no return by the time they found it. And the migraines were like the last symptom of
Oh
her, you
God.
know?
Yes.
So but my point being, it can literally be from PCOS, like me, a brain tumor, hormonal, that like migraines can mean anything, or you can just be stressed or have eye issue, like your brain can just, MS. That was a huge symptom for one of my dear friends on here, that she was getting ocular migraines.
Yes. Yeah.
And that was one of the signs of her MS. So it's like, it's so hard to know when you tell your doctor you're having migraines. I don't like blame my doctor for not thinking it was my birth control.
Yeah, and it really can. It's so crazy because Scott's aunt had the same thing. She had migraines. She went in. It was a tumor. She actually just had surgery. She's okay. She's fine. They caught it super, super early. But I think I need to set up a CT scan or something because
I mean,
no.
I know that doesn't help, but also it's like when you're having like they are debilitating. I never understood. And I've had so many people, like, I don't know if you've read this yet because there's no audiobook for it, I know, but the one I always recommend, literally the character is like migraines cause her to not have a job in the book because she can't
I can see that.
And that's the one that I recommend like constantly all the time. That's by Kay Allister. Oh, The Ecstasy of Sin. She's a very small indie author, so there's no audio for that, but it's so worth it to read in that one because I felt so seen by that. And the character in that one is literally thinking about doing assisted death in Canada because of how bad her migraines are before the hero.
Oh, is she homeless?
Yeah.
Oh, this does look good.
I know. And he's like amazing. He like one of the first things he does is buy her medicine for her. So of course he like loves it. Like puts medicine in her bag that she needs. But she literally can't like work because of it. And Kay Allister, she leaves a note that like this is like that's owned rep for her, that one of her part of the reason it takes her so long to write is because of her migraines. So I just found a lot of catharsis in that book because I was like, that's great to see that represented. And then there was a book I just read where the hero has debilitating migraines. Oh, I should look which one that was. because I feel like women are always like, if it's shown as the woman who has it, because it's often women writing the books. But there's one I just read where the hero will get migraines because of the brain injury he had.
Oh,
So anyway, it's a great rep to see in one of them. So that's why I like recommending that one too, because I have had so many of my viewers who are like, I get migraines. And whatever that level of migraine is for you, like, it's debilitating. The worst migraine you've ever had is the worst one you've ever had. Like, it took me a long time to actually own that it's a migraine. I don't just have a bad headache or whatever. Like,
well, I feel
you
bad for
know,
saying, like, not thinking migraines are as bad as they are, because I'd be like, okay, you have a headache. Well, then I got my first
yeah,
real migraine where light was causing me physical pain, and I was like,
yeah,
oh, I don't know how people deal with this. This is absolute hell. And if they
right,
last days, like, forget
yeah,
it. It's
yeah.
horrible.
Yeah, and like not being able to eat and like touch, and but I can't have it be silent because then I hear the blood rushing in my head. Like, it is
Oh, and when you
the
feel it, I can feel it in my temples. Like, I can feel the blood right here,
Mhm.
and I'm like, I can't.
I can't have anything touch me. I can't have it be too hot. I can't, like,
Yep.
sleeping doesn't make it go away. I will just literally, I also understand how people could overdose on something when they're in that.
Yep.
I've said that. I'm like, I would easily take pain meds until I passed out if I could. Like, when it hurts that bad, you just would,
You want
I
anything,
would drug
anything to make it
myself.
stop.
I know, like, when I started having them like this, I was like, I understand people abusing drugs now. Because I'm serious. I'm like, because whatever pain you have, if you are addicted to something and it won't go away, or you're like hooked on it, like, I can see just wanting to medicate yourself to oblivion, because 48 hours of a migraine and I want to tear my face off. So anyway, enough
Yep.
depression. How is everybody's books going? What's everyone doing? Mine is really, really cute so far. Um, it's a good one. It's very well written. Um, I love that with fanfics. I love when they're well written like this. It just makes me so happy. So
I
Shane's
honestly don't think
very grumpy in this one. He's
I don't think
very
I've written a or read a badly written fanfic. I haven't read many, but all the
grumpy.
ones I read, I'm always impressed by the writing, and then I'm like, why am I impressed? Like, everyone you've read has been written really, really well.
That's fair. Well, two things. I think you probably read the ones that
The
get made
popular ones.
into books and people love, which they're popular for that reason. Like, truly,
Yes.
because they're so well written and they're well thought out, and they are a book. They are a book that person just couldn't publish it as it was, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I've read some bad ones, but when I'm reading a fic, I'm so not holding it to anything, because that's not the point. I'm in it for, what are you doing with these characters that I know. And so the only time I think they're bad is when I think they change the characters too much that I'm not like reading it anymore. Because that's really the point for me, is like, insert these characters into a different situation, or give me an epilogue that's past what I want. Or so those are really the only times I like don't like it, is if I think they change them so much that I'm like, well, this wasn't the characters I'm trying to read.
Yeah.
So what am I
That makes sense.
doing?
Mind you, I think I've
Yeah.
read 8 to 10 maybe. So
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and there aren't a ton of like audio ones for
yeah.
you, but there are a few Hall off ones now. So I'll have to send you some of those.
Oh, if they have
Um,
audio ones, I'm down, because I was
yeah.
looking and I couldn't find any, and I was like, I give up. Eventually it might
Yeah.
happen.
Well, the one that is going really good, I know they're doing like the Wolfbird one is being done. That's the huge one that everyone like. But I mean, they're taking a pause. But I think the audiobook is like behind anyway, so it's still coming out, or the
Yeah.
audio fic, whatever people know. But I haven't looked for them, because I don't really like to listen to fics, because they're not read by narrators usually. That was my problem
Oh,
with the Harry Potter ones.
the
Is
Manacle
that,
one, not only is
yeah, see, and I never listened.
it's different narrators. Like, every single one,
Yes, I
every
heard that.
single little chapter is a different narrator, and I was like, what is happening?
Yes, yeah, I heard that from is it Brit, who's like the TikTok like audiobook, who did Manacled, and they were like, this is crazy. The only ones I listen to is I listen to Isolation, and I listen to Measure of a Man, because Measure of a Man was like the longest fic that I'd read at to that point. And I needed help getting through it because it's so long. But otherwise, fics, I just I don't want to listen to them because they're usually done by people who are doing it for free. Of course, they're doing it for free, and they're doing
Yeah.
it because they love it and want to make it accessible. But I am, I guess, a bit of a snob for audiobooks at this point but I understand. Did you listen to Love in the Tide? Did you listen to that one, the zombie
Yep.
apocalypse one? You listened to that one, yeah? Oh, so many favorite things.
Oh no, that one's great. I love it. I also listened to Breath Mints and Battle Scars. That was a good
Yes.
one.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't listen to the auction. I read the one that was released that like
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's not.
Yeah, I heard that.
I know. I really I enjoyed it while I was listening to it, and then it started falling apart for me when I started thinking about it, which I regret
Yeah.
thinking about it so much.
Yeah.
But I do want to read Irresistible Urge because that one is very different. And Jessin and Crystal both liked that one.
I
So,
DNF'd it, but I think it's just not my type of humor.
yeah. Yeah. We'll see. I'm now kind of waiting for the second part to be out, is how I am with that stuff. So,
Fair.
yeah. I will maybe try them then. But yeah, no, it's exciting. And the Hollow Out, one of my favorite things is there's this woman who does YouTube videos that are like all about the fan fiction world, which I really like. And the Hollow fic, and this was in January, mind you, that she did this. There's someone who does a catalog of all the ships. They do it twice a year, and they will show you the rank of how many new fics have been put up for each pairing or throuple or whatever the relationship is. And Hollanov went from not being on the list to like being number 12. And this was in January.
Oh,
when there
geez.
was only like 18,000 fics. I can't wait to see what it is in July when they do it next, because I know there's a 33,000 right now is how many it's up to. And I'm like, oh my God, it's going to be in like the top 5 probably. So,
I'll say top 3. Like it's
yeah.
I
It
feel
just
like
depends. Because there's also another Marvel movie coming. Marvel is the number 1 fix of like all time. So those are really up there. But it's growing fast, man. The fics are growing fast. So,
well,
yeah.
it's deserved. If you want a dark romance secret society, this one is really good, and the audiobook is on Hoopla.
Nice.
I have a seizure disorder. I am sorry to hear that. The one time I was on birth control for 5 months, I bled the entire time. I was falling asleep in random places, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. That sounds like hell.
Yeah, it's awful.
Bratva series by TJ Maguire and Shadow series by R. Nimes are new Mafia books I enjoyed so far.
Ooh.
Did you read the Bratva series?
I haven't read TJ Maguire yet, if that's who that does out.
I think so. I got the entire series because people keep recommending it. I was going to try to read that during this readathon.
Yeah, you will have to tell me if you do, because it's been being recommended, and I already have so many Mafia lined up that I just want to catch up on mine. So, yeah, I haven't got to it. I'm always behind on everything. I was going to say something else. Nope, I don't remember.
Fanfic. Try to jog.
No. I was trying to move on from fanfic, so it wasn't about that. It was about maybe I was going to comment on birth control again. I think it's just that it's so different for every woman, and that's just the problem of like your doctor asks like a few questions and slaps you into it, and then I just had to like think about why I was on it and if I really needed it anymore. And I mean, I haven't been on it for 3.5 years now, and it's been a good thing. So, but I was like taking it. So,
I think I stopped when I got PCOS, when I got that diagnosis, because I was taking the shot and they were like, we don't need to do this anymore. So that I just I completely went off of it. But I really didn't have any negative side effects.
See, and that's great.
I was lucky.
And another story of this, like my sister never had any effects till she went off it, had her first kid, and then tried to do I don't know, I think she tried to do the IUD then in between kid 1 and 2.
I will
and then
never
she
do an
just had
IUD.
horrible.
I've had
Yeah.
so many friends where they've either floated into the wrong area or having them taken out with like no pain meds, everything about it, not doing it, no interest in ever doing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. And I've only heard bad things about it. I've heard
Same.
okay things from like The Ring, I guess. People like the Ring was okay for them. Or straight up, and again, not to be this, but people just using condoms and paying attention. And then I have friends who like they've just been using, people like joke at them for this. And I know this doesn't work for, like, it wouldn't work for us with PCOS or people with like regulated periods, but my friend and her husband, they've been married 5 years, just using, they track her cycle with temperature and stuff. And she hasn't had a baby that they've been in there, but
My
so,
friend was doing that and it worked until it
yep,
didn't. And then she
yep,
had a son. So
yep. So,
that's the
but my
only
friend has
downside.
regular periods. So
Yeah.
I think it's also still like if you do that, you should still use protection when you have sex if you're not wanting to. Like, because they
Yeah.
are. Like, they're doing that and they're using protection or whatever. So
Well,
they've
yeah,
had
then
a
you're
100% success rate the whole time.
yeah.
So
I
I
think
think
that
people, if you only trust one thing always,
yeah.
then, like if
No,
you're only
I
trusting
think
your pill, I just have a friend who missed one, and guess what? Her baby's due in October. Taking the
oh,
blanket right now. So
and antibiotics can make your pills ineffective. If anyone did not know that, because my
yep,
friend had that happen as
yep,
well. Never missed a
yep,
day. And the doctor was like, well, you were on this for this period. And she's like, yeah. And they're like, that probably stopped your birth control from working.
yep. So anyway, there's a reason why accidental pregnancy is one of my favorite tropes and exists because even though there's birth control is only as effective as the person who's taking it correctly, and
Yes.
so anyway, sorry guys, we'll stop talking about that, but that's just that.
Enjoying the new series, The McCarthy Family Legacy by Jane Henry. It's a second generation family about the kids.
Love second gen.
I feel like I always like second gen more than first gen, which is like, I know odd, but that's how I am with the Rena Kent series. That's how I was with the Sophie Lark series. Like,
Yeah, I think it just depends. I mean, it's funny because I was gonna say no, but Michelle Hurd, I just didn't read the first gen series fully. But now she has another series where I'm gonna be reading the second gen. I haven't started it yet. But yeah, Rena Kent, I like the second gen as well. I stand by this always. They have to get more creative with their plots in a second gen because you can't kill the parents. You can't kill the parents off. So you have to be more creative with your stories instead of which of course I love mafia tropes. Duh, that's why we're doing a readathon with all the tropes. But there are certain tropes that you can't do in a second gen. So you have to, you can't really do like a Beauty and the Beast trope as easily because you can't like have the dad be shitty and you can't kill the mom. And like, if you're doing an arranged marriage, they're probably going to be nicer. The families are a bit nicer because they're second gen families. So like, there's just things you can't quite do the same way. Unless you're Cora Riley and you just say, fuck it, I'm going to change how the parents act and decide that I hate them in the second gen. Sorry, did I say that? Yes, I did. Because anyone who's read the Sins of the Father series, you cannot tell me those parents are acting like themselves. I refuse to believe you. You're fibbing. It doesn't mean you can't like those books. I'm not saying you're wrong if you like them. But Ramo Falcone is not Ramo Falcone in the second gen series. Okay? He is not himself. His children would not be acting like the little kids that they are if he was being himself.
I didn't know she had a second gen series.
Yeah, that's because it's bad. I don't talk about it.
Yeah, no, I had no idea because I read the entire other series because like it was so hyped and everything, but I had no idea there was another one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've read the Bratva series. It is about the Russian mafia Volkov family, and each of them have their own book. They're all interconnected. Yeah, I want to read. I think it's Bratva Bride. I'm gonna start that maybe after this.
Yeah. I really want to catch up with. Like, part of the thing is I'm so behind on my Michelle Hurd because she puts her books out so fast. That like it took me all of last year, Readathon included, to catch up to the one series. And now she started the second gen of that one. But she wrote another series before she did the second gen. and that's the one I'm trying to work my way through now. So that's one I have to read. The Devil, and Helen read The Hermit is the book one in that one. But that's the series I recommend. That it's like all different mafias. So like there's a Greek one in there. There's the Irish. There's the Italian. So that one has like a bunch of different ones in there too. So
Wicked Sanctuary, the second book, was about Ashland and Bianca. It was great. Secrets, betrayals. He kidnaps her right of the night of her college graduation.
mm-hmm.
Good to know. I think I've read Greek. I'm trying to think if there's any like types of mafia I haven't read before. Pretty sure I did Greek at one point. I know I've done Irish. I know I've done Bratha. So I think I've gotten them all.
Did you do Yakuza?
Ooh, I don't know. I don't know if I've done Yakuza. That might be one I need.
Mm-hmm. I believe one of Rena Kent's has a Yakuza in it. Am I wrong, people? I think one of hers does, because I remember that was the first time I'd ever seen the Yakuza pop in. Yeah, maybe that one. And then and then Michelle Hurd, there's a Turkish one. Did you read the Stolen by a Sinner, the Taken by a Sinner? Okay, yeah. Because that one, when I was doing, I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't know this one was Turkish and Polish. Because the Polish are the bad guys in that one, and then he's Turkish.
Yes, I'm trying to read all of my Mystic Box special editions. So that's the only reason I picked those up, is I was trying to decide what book box to get rid of. And they had those as like one of my first. So I was like, all right.
What? Michelle Hurd was in Mystic Box?
Yeah. Taken by a Sinner, and I think I have them right here.
I'm like, I'll have to look those up. I have not seen that.
Oh, no, I lied. Okay. It's not.
Okay. I'm like, I would have flipped a tit if those ones were in there somewhere. Okay. You meant, yeah. Okay. You meant Summer Sketch or whatever.
Nope. I have read Taken by a Sinner, though, the audio.
Right. Yes. No, I was like, I would know if they'd been done, because I would buy those on.
They've had some good ones. I wasn't crazy about last month's, but Albanian Mafia. I have not done Albanian Mafia.
Oh no, it's Serbian. Yeah, it's Serbian in the Neva Altai. I was gonna say. Yeah, usually the Albanians are the enemies, so that's what's fun, and they make those ones the enemies in those. But yeah, Serbian is in the Neva Altai series.
Have you read
Go ahead.
That one? Have you read that one, The Kingpin's Call Girl?
No. That one is Helen's pick. So that's the one I'm gonna read. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I picked one of because there's only two that I haven't read in our Rex, and I picked that one because I've read Annika Martin before, and like Dark Mafia Prince I've read, and Hostage and Prisoner I've read, that she did with another author, and then she has some like rom-com ones too that are totally different. So yeah, but no, I haven't read The Kingpin's Call Girl. I just got the audio for it last night, so woo.
Yeah, I also have the audio for it. I wasn't sure of the vibe of it, if it was like cute or more dark. So
hold on, I just gotta grab my charger.
Nope, you got it.
Needed to stand up too. Jeez, my legs are falling asleep.
I just finished a duet by Charmaine Paul's book 1, Callous Desire, and book 2, Callous Love. It came out Monday. This series was nuts.
You know, Cheyenne used to always recommend that author to me, but I never got around to it. But she really liked that author, so
I honestly miss Cheyenne's Rex, because she used to give like the best book Rex, and I'm like, can you just come back for a little bit?
I know, I miss those too. I want her to write a Mafia eventually. I hope she does.
Yeah. Ooh, they have an audiobook for this one, so I might add this to my TBR.
Yeah, I've heard that author is really unhinged, so I think you might like.
Yes. I'm nervous about starting the Adelaide Forest book, but I do want to give it a try, so I think that's how I'm going to end it.
Right. Okay. So I meant to ask. So you picked Bloodied Hands, or you picked the
Until Tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're gonna like that.
Great.
I tapped out in book 2, but I think you'll like it.
Okay. I heard he's like almost irredeemable, which like I normally kind of
Yeah,
like. So
exactly what I mean. Yeah. Well, and the thing is that there is a difference between like almost irredeemable and completely irredeemable. And I think I just was like in the mood where I was like, nope, I don't want to stick around and see if you will.
okay.
But a lot of people love that series by her. I just was like, it just felt like a different edge. Like I enjoy that character in her other series because he shows up in like the other series, and he's kind of like a fix-it guy for some of them. But
Okay.
his own romance, I was like, oh, this wasn't how I expected him to be based off of how he was in other people's books.
That makes
So I
sense.
think if you haven't read those other ones, then you can just appreciate him as she wrote his story. Whereas for me, I was like, this is not how I pictured you, and you like helped us out in this other one.
No, that makes perfect sense. I could see that. There was one of the series in the Rena Ken series, I felt that way, where I was like, this is not the romance I expected for this person, and
Yeah,
it made me dislike
right.
it a little bit.
Well, it's kind of like when Ramo gets built up in your mind leading to him, and then he's like a bit softer than he appears is one thing. But when he appears softer and then you get in his head and he's more fucked up, I'm like, that's not how I expected you to treat your woman type of thing.
Yes.
So, but different folks, man.
I'm on Shirley Paul's audiobook team. That's awesome. I got an arc of the Kingpin's Call Girl through Zoe Blake because being on her arc team.
Are they the same person? I'm confused now because I thought Annika Martin is the author of that one. So now I'm confused, girl. And I mean, there can be books with the same name. We absolutely know that. How many brutal princes are there?
This one might be because I almost got the wrong audiobook. So actually, let's see if there's 2.
Okay, because I know Zoe Blake does Mafia. I've read one of hers before, but The Kingpin's Call Girl by Annika Martin is the one that I have.
Oh, maybe there is just one. It is by Annika Martin.
Because now I was like, does Annika Martin... I feel like I would know that. I met Annika Martin. She did not have Zoe Blake books at her table, so I don't think that...
No, Zoe Blake was helping the author promote her book. That makes sense.
That's nice. So she offered it to her art team. That's cool. I love seeing authors help authors. Well, and okay, so this goes back to what I was saying too, because Annika Martin hasn't written a Mafia in a long time. She was doing lighter, fluffier things. And so when I keep wanting to call her Hannah, when Helen said this one, I was like, what? Is this an old book? I thought it was an old one I didn't know about. And she's like, no, it's a recent release. And I was like, oh, she must have went back to it. So pairing up with or an author helping her out in dark romance again would make sense because her current audience isn't used to those, So it's like she's going back to it. But yeah, she used to write. She's one of the oldies for that.
I'm surprised she didn't use a pen name to like switch up genres. I feel like that's the kind of normal route these days.
Well, right, but she has other Mafia under her name. Is the point? Like she wrote Mafia.
No, I mean for her rom-com stuff. If she was doing Mafia, then switched.
Yeah, they didn't do that as much then. You just were told to keep it under one so you keep your brand name strong. And now with how set people get in one way, now they're like, well, you should do a different pen name if you're gonna have stuff that has dubious consent or whatever, so that Amazon doesn't recommend you to the same people, right? Because that's been a big deal of people being like, oh, he was non-consensual with her. And I'm like, well, I had the trigger warnings. They're like, well, I didn't need trigger warnings for your other books. I'm like, well, this one's a dark romance. So what do you want?
Yep.
Yes. She was writing billionaire rom-coms. That is correct.
I'm on Zoe Blake and Jane Henry's arc team. Zoe Blake, that name sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Hoping to get arc of Jagger Cole's new book?
Oh, I hope I'm able to try his out. I was really disappointed there wasn't audiobooks for his new series yet.
I feel like NetGalley, I mean, I get arcs from ARC teams, but anytime I request anything from NetGalley, I get denied. But it's not even like I have a bad rating because I've only ever reviewed one book. I don't know why NetGalley hates me, but it
That
does.
is so weird.
It's so annoying. All right. Are we ready? You want to do one more?
Yeah, totally.
Sweet.
I'm just literally, when we shut off, I'm going to keep doing the exact same thing. Just sit on my couch. So
Okay, then
we can
cool.
go as late as you can go. I can go because you're ahead of me. So
Sounds good. I can go until the Lakers game, so I'm down to do that.
excellent.
Let's see.
May go refill my drink though.
All right, I'm starting it.
All right. See you then.
This book just took a turn that I didn't like. So
I know.
yeah.
That's exactly what you're talking about. So that's what I was waiting for.
Yeah, I was so in until this just happened, and now I'm like, really? Like, yeah.
I know. That's why it wasn't higher than. Well, I gave it a 4.5, but I was gonna give it like a 6-star before.
No, this was a solid. This was like potentially top read of the month when I was reading, and it definitely just lost a star.
I know. I literally know exactly what it is because the same thing. I was staying up all night to read that one. I literally know where I was. I was at family camp and all my friends were sleeping and I was reading it. I was like, oh my God, I love this book so much. And then the thing happened and I was like, well, I'm going to go to bed. I'll finish this tomorrow.
That's literally how I feel. I was like, I can listen to this during the game. Like, it's fine. And now I'm like, I'll just watch the game. I don't even care.
Yeah, I know. It still ends good. Like,
I'm sure it does.
Of course it does. But I mean, there's some like hell to pay for the thing, is what I mean.
Okay.
Like, that's what I mean. Of course it ends good. It has an HA. But I mean, the thing that pissed you off, like, there's some recompense to happen for it.
Okay.
But nope, I know exactly what you mean.
It came out of nowhere, and I was just like, I'm vibing, and then just anger. I finished Mila Kane's Sacred Ruin. It did not work for me.
Yep. That's going to be a tricky one for a lot of people. Actually, Sacred Ruin will be. If it isn't the religious stuff that'll piss people off, there is like, I mean, that one literally has forced institutionalization, which is tough for me, but that's like one of my hardest like triggers. But it starts with her in there, which is different than like when I'm reading a book and someone gets forcefully institutionalized. That is a bigger trigger to me than like she starts out in a mental hospital having already been put in there.
Yeah.
Is like different than and I really liked the hero in that one, but I completely understand that Sacred Ruin will not. But Unholy Vows is my favorite one in the series, so
I really liked that one. That was really good.
Yep, that's my favorite one.
I'm trying to think if there's any mental hospital ones I've read that don't start out. I feel like they almost all start out there, besides the Stay With Me series, but that's like a chapter and then it goes there. I don't think I've read any.
Did you read Lovely Return? Didn't you read Lovely Return?
I don't think so.
Carrie Ann Cole?
No,
Yeah.
I have that on. I bought that during the Audible sale. I've never read it.
I'm pretty positive it's that one.
Okay.
That it happens in. I mean, up to you if you'll like how it goes. Like, I'm pretty positive it's that one. And then there's another one that it really triggered me into. Oh, yes, Julianne. It happens in book 2 of her like forbidden in her like forbidden series or whatever.
Julianne's made me cry too many times. I like haven't picked up a few of her books.
I know, like she has one more still coming in that like firefighter series. And like Julianne, she is heavier than people like think of her. And she always
broke me. Yeah. Like I was sobbing. If you want to cry, I recommend it. If you don't want to cry, I would skip it because like I was just violently sobbing on the couch.
Yeah, no, I haven't read that one. I have that one though because I actually found it at a used bookstore for $3, and I found it literally when we went to the book signing. Me and my bestie stopped at the like half price books in that town, and one of her books was just there, and I was like, "Shut up! I'm going to see her." So I like brought it. So I have a signed copy for Lucy, but I haven't read it because I got it for $3 and then saw her that day. Oh, too funny. Yeah, no.
Did you write The Naked Fisherman? Is that also her?
No, It is. I will never read those.
Oh,
Both
I love
Jessica and Crystal. Both
They're so
Jessica and
good.
Crystal will not. No. No, thank you. No, thank you. No desire for that level of angst and like frustration.
I read
was
it. I
like,
did a TBR switch with Cheyenne. That's why I read it, because she
no.
recommended, and I
Oh,
was like,
yeah.
"What is this?"
Yeah. Cheyenne loves that shit though. It's
Yeah.
like loves it, which again, I love that for her. But some of the ones she will love, I'm like, never could I ever.
It was good. It was really good. It was a lot.
No. I'm trying to think who else. Yeah, those are the two main ones that, like, that oddly specific trigger warning. And there are things that are not trigger warnings for forced institutionalization is not a trigger warning thing.
Yeah.
And so this is my whole thing too, is like, that is why it was triggering to me, because it is an important part of both of those stories. It's not like the author used it recklessly, but it isn't a thing they would think to warn you about, right? I
Yeah.
finally have gotten to the point where people warn about like loss of a child, like a miscarriage. They'll like put those in there, which that is also my other like big trigger warning. And thankfully, that has become more. I'm not thankfully. That's awful. It's become more mainstream that people have lost children, and so that's an awful thing, of course, but it's put in books because women have experienced it more, and
Yes.
so they put it in there, and they don't use it as a shock value thing anymore.
Yes.
Which it used to be. And so for forced institutionalization, it's such an oddly specific thing. Like you said, you probably never read one that it happened in, or they already start in a mad place or something.
Yeah.
And then when you're reading one, oh, I know another one it happens in. It happened in L.H. Halloran. That celeb girl gets like forced into one. But that one wasn't like heavy in the same way, because it just wasn't as heavy as one where like your family forced you into one and you're not crazy. Like in that one, she is having a mental break. She needs to be there. Like
Yeah.
the ones I'm talking about is when someone evilly puts you in there, or they don't understand you, or you're having like, in the case of the, not to spoil it, but in the case of the Carrie Ann Cole, that book is about a certain thing and other people don't believe it. And so they put you in a place, right? And it's that like, they think I'm crazy. They've put me here. Um, and in like Unholy Vows, she starts out in one because they're trying to, or say, not Unholy Vows.
I was
Sacred
gonna say
Ruin.
there's no institution
Yep.
in that one.
No. In Sacred Ruin, she's put in one as a punishment and being drugged into oblivion
Oh god.
to control her and everything. And that one is like, it's so frustrating, but it's also like she starts there. So it's not as painful. And it's also a dark romance too. Like those other two I mentioned, it is a contemporary, it's not like it's a light story, but it's also not like a dark romance. And then your parents just take the choice away from you and thrust you into this.
Yeah.
And also because it wasn't dark, the hero couldn't come and just like take her out of there. Like she had to prove that she was sane before she
Yeah.
could leave. And like, how do you do that with stuff? So anyway, again, super oddly specific trigger. And the times that I've read it, there's no warning for it because it's a twist. So it's not in there. And I'm just like, we gotta be past that. I'm sorry. Certain trigger warnings are not twists. You put it on your website. You list it on your website. And then when I hit the thing, I go look it up to see if you put it and it was there and I chose to ignore the trigger warning, then I'm
That's
not
on
going to
you.
hold it against your buck.
Exactly.
But for the one, it was just like, nope, there was no trigger warnings for the book at all because it was just a contemporary book. And I'm like, no, you failed. You
Yeah.
fail. And now I'm going to curse your name and your little book too.
No, I think posting all of your triggers on your website is the best way to go about it. And that way, for those who know they're sensitive to something, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that way it's like over and you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, there's literally no excuse for it now. These
Yeah.
days, it's like all of the bitching about that stuff that people do. I'm like, no, if you have a website, you can have a trigger warnings page. and you can put at the front of your book, it's here. I don't always love that because there are a lot of times where I don't have internet access when I'm reading an arc or a thing somehow. Like that does happen where I'm in places that don't. There's a few specific places actually in town that I go that like to not have internet access. And I wish you would just put it at the back of your book. Like Elliot Rose would do that because she didn't want to have spoilers in the beginning, but like you could jump to the back of the book for it and not have to go to her website.
That's fine.
And I'm
then.
like,
I do think triggers can be a spoiler. So I'm one of those people that like literally just look for the keyword of the trigger I don't like. If I don't see it, I'm good.
Yes. Oh, exactly. And that is something I'll argue. Like when I tell people like trigger warnings are like, I don't agree that triggers aren't, but they are. Trigger warnings are spoilers, but they're spoilers you need to provide and give the option to the person. Like you don't take that option away from someone to have it, because guess what? I can also spoil myself for your book by going to the last chapter whenever I want to.
Very true.
In fact, I used to do that as a kid all the time. So it's none of your damn business if I want to spoil your book or not. I've already paid for it or I've already checked it out. If I want to spoil myself for the end of it, I can. So just make it easy for me to find it, right? Like that's an argument I get into too. It's like, oh, it's a spoiler. And I'm like, but if I have to choose to have it, then like it's none of your business, you know? Like that's kind of my feel about it when like, you know, my author that I work for, like she never put trigger warnings for stuff because she just A, didn't have a lot of trigger warnings and things, and B, there were things that her being a writer for 15 years, she just never thought of them as triggers because they're, and I'm like, you know, you have a lot of parents die in your books because she's an orphan at this point in her life. Both her parents are gone. And so she writes a lot of books where parents die or are dead because that's her lived experience. So I'm like, you got to tell people the parents die, like, in the beginning of this book, because it's traumatic for some of us who our parents will die soon or are close to it. I just need to prepare myself for, oh yeah, this parent has cancer and is going to die here, or this is going to happen. And like, which book did I just read the arc for that there was no warnings for that stuff at all? Oh, the Elizabeth O'Rourke I just read for my Patreon. Literally, the lady like dies of cancer in the epilogue. That's supposed to be the happiness. The mom dies before she gets to meet her grandbaby. She literally dies before the baby's born. I'm spinning all over my computer. I literally ranted. I'm like, this has a rom-com cover, and it's about cancer, drug use, gaslighting by her manager, danger in Somalia, people like being attacked there, and then like parents gaslighting you. The worst one, parental suicide. She came upon her dead father's body, and that's part of the reason why she's so fucked up. And because there's some jokes in the first 25%, this was marketed as a light holiday rom-com. Like that was my biggest problem with it. I enjoyed the book, but its original cover wasn't a rom-com cover. It wasn't. This series by Elizabeth O'Rourke wasn't even marketed as rom-coms in the beginning. Okay, they had sexy chest covers. They're all in the ocean. You know, The Devil in the Deep Blue Sea, The Devil Made Me Do It, like all these books. And now the traditionally published covers are all rom-com covers, and it's literally marketed as the enemies to lovers rom-com that you need right now. And I was like, oh, okay, fun. And then after 25% of the book, the whole rest of it was all this heavy shit. And I'm like, this is not a rom-com. Just because there's a joke in it doesn't mean it's a rom-com. Like, who told you that? Like, I can think of Mafia books we're talking about that have jokes in them. That doesn't mean you
never consider them a rom-com.
Exactly. Like that, like J.T. Geisinger. Those books are hilarious.
Yeah.
The Queens and Monsters are hilarious. Sloane and Declan, they just banter the whole way through. It is not a rom-com.
No.
So anywho, I got real heated in my review because I was like, I like this book. But as someone who reviews books, I would have had a big-ass problem because this was originally published in 2016. It was trad-pubbed in 2025 when you put trigger warnings in everything now. Literally, parental suicide happened in there.
I never saw
father
these
had
new
hit her in
covers.
the face. Right, girl, they are.
Oh my god! I know that. Oh my god.
Babe, I know, babe. I know. Yeah, anyway, my patrons heard all about it because I was like, guys, I like this book. I have to tell you the responsible thing. And it's funny because Helen read it too. So Helen is one of my patrons and she was like, yeah, you're right. I really liked that book. It was fun. I was like, it's a good book. It's a good book. It's just that it literally says on the back that it's the enemies to lovers rom-com that you need right now. And I'm like, no, it is not. She's literally being forced to do coke by her manager and is depressed. Depression was a huge trigger warning. The mom has cancer that's coming back. Anyway, it wasn't
Not a rom-com.
It,
Not a rom-com.
right. Like it was more of a hard-hitting contemporary. It wasn't dark, but it wasn't a rom-com. Like I wouldn't have called it a dark romance because their relationship isn't dark. The book is just, it's heavy. And the original
I've read a lot
cover,
of her books, and
yes.
some of them are lighter,
Mhm.
but I wouldn't really consider any
Yeah.
of them like rom-com.
No, I've read 4 because I'd read a different one in the series. I actually read like the 3rd book first or whatever. And when it had the original covers, which is just like, that's any type of contemporary with the man chest. So
I own, I think it's the 2nd one, and it's a blonde guy coming out of water. Like,
yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah, I read the lawyer ones. Yeah, I read the ones where they're the lawyers or whatever. So anyway, that's just my whole point is I'm like, you know, there's so many books with those type of covers now. Like there's getting less now a little bit. They're actually kind of, you know, if they're a graphic cover, it's at least getting more detailed is kind of the style they're going with. So they're more realistic, right? But saying something's a rom-com like that, I was pretty fired up about it. Like I was like making a list of all the triggers and I'm like, by the end, I'm like, I'm not even being dramatic. You could take some of these out. But parent with cancer is a big deal. Parental suicide is a big deal. The drug use, the casual drug use to me is always one that you should list because that's a lot. And then the like, what was the other one that was a big, her depression. She's depressed the entire book. So yeah, I was like, Elizabeth O'Rourke, you might want to tell them to put those in there. But I mean, if you don't call them on that, they don't, you know, like I come back to this. Sorry, everyone, I'm ranting about this, but for Firebird by Juliet Cross, they were not going to let her have trigger warnings in her book. And that like was pissing people. It was pissing me off. And I was like, as you know, not to act all high and mighty because I'm not, but I was like, as your friend, if you don't get them to let you have these in there, you are going to get crucified because this is a big deal. Like, I enjoyed that book so much. Well, right. But the thing is like UK was like, hey, we need a trigger warning list for the UK publisher. Yeah. But her US publisher wasn't going to do it. And I was like, Juliet, I know this is the first one you're getting trad pumped in a while, but like you have to. And she was like, no, you're absolutely right. And, you know, and then I got Jessin on board too. And I was like, Jessin, make it happen, babe. Because
I just saw her at a Polycon too.
I know, they're delightful.
Like, oh my God. It's the only time I ever see her.
That's what the blanket's for.
I didn't want to ask her when I saw her, but when I hugged her, I was just like, ooh.
Yes, I know. Yep, that's whose blanket this one is. When we're off camera, I'll tell you something else about that too. Okay. So anyway, I'm thinking it's getting more out there for people because it's like at least put the note that click on this to go to my website. But when you're in a trad thing, like just cover your bases for crying out loud. Like the excuse of like the reviewers will list them for me, like you have to stop doing that because that is not a reviewer's job alone because some people don't read reviews. Some people don't read reviews.
I have had comments of people saying I should list all the triggers for the books I talk about. And I was like, I'm sorry, guys. One, my videos would be hours long and also like not my responsibility. I will say if something I know is dark, I will say check the triggers. There's definitely some upsetting things in this. But I'm not listening.
I generally do for the ones that trigger me, because I make a spreadsheet about every book. And so when I'm doing it, I have a checklist of boxes to check, like when I fill out my form. So it's not extra work for me to do. If
Yeah.
it's a dark romance, though, I usually am like, it's a dark romance, check your triggers. I say them for contemporary books because I know that people aren't expecting it.
Yes. Well,
You know,
that's
like,
different. If it's a book where you wouldn't expect it, I'll be like, hey, this has something, like yada yada yada. And I will spoil death of an animal because I can't. Can't deal with it.
girl, that is
So.
like, that only started showing up in books very recently, that they would say harm to an animal or anything. I'm like, if there's even possible harm to the animal,
If anything happens to the animal, I'm out. I'm out immediately.
Mm-hmm.
So
There's only one book two, I guess, that I've ever read where the animal actually died, and I was okay with it. And it's because it was a point of the story. Like, it wasn't just the animal accidentally died, right? Well, I mean, Dark Notes. You've read Dark Notes, haven't
I
you?
know, and it hurts
Okay.
every time, and I won't read the end of that book. I just pretend the ending doesn't happen.
Okay. But I mean, that was a point in the story. It wasn't just, oh, the animal died as like a warning, or someone killed this thing to string them up. Like, that is a pivotal point in the story. And so it hurts so badly. It hurts, but it's a pivotal point in the story. I don't enjoy reading that.
I think Empire of the Vampire might be the other one I'm thinking of that has.
So that is literally the other one, because he kills a lot of horses.
Yeah.
He kills a lot of horses. He actually, I don't know if anyone watched the interview piece, but he had one of his friends named a horse. And so that horse lives through the whole, like, once that horse shows up, because she's like, I had my friend name this horse.
So
And so this one had to live. But his reasoning for it is absolutely legit, and his aren't romance novels either, so I don't expect the animals to make it through, where he's like, these are immortal beings on very mortal animals. And I'm like, but like, I'll tell you, reading like no, I keep wanting to say Fury Bound because that's the one, but reading Dire Bound, I was like, I can't. The amount of beautiful wolves that keep getting killed in here, I'm like, and it's worse because they're sentient.
I was gonna say, okay, so this is gonna sound
Fourth Wing.
This is gonna be evil, but for some reason, when they're sentient, I don't get as upset. I have no idea why that is, and I know
I know why it is. No, I know why it is. It's because they then can make decisions and are not fully trusting in a human.
Yeah.
Like an animal that is fully reliant on you as your owner or whatever, and they die, it's a loss of innocence. It's a cruel act to kill a beloved creature. When they're sentient and they can be a part of the war with you, and they're thousands of years old and have probably lived longer than people and everything.
I'm okay with it. I mean, I'm sad, but I'm not like DNFing the book. But like, if there's like a puppy or something happens, I'm done. Like, the fact that I got through John Wick is amazing. But
wow. Well, that makes the vengeance, though. Again, it's a point of the story. It literally fuels what he does, right? So anyway, that literally is my like line for it, though. It's the same way how I feel about if there is a miscarriage or a loss of a child. It's, is this loss used for your story? Does it fuel how they act? If you just put it in there to add tragic backstory or whatever, or to do it, I really don't have time for you. Because you're just doing it to add character to them. Or you're just doing it to make it a character trait.
Kennedy Ryan's the only book I've read that I was okay with that. Because I actively avoid books that have anything to do with that, but I think it was Caitlin from the Love Librarian was like, Jess, I think you're going to be okay with this one. And I love that book. So
same. That's the same way Crystal convinced me to read it too. Because I was already nervous about how much people sob over those books in the Grip trilogy. But then I was like, okay, let me make it through. But anyway, those are my like, what are other people saying after all that rant? Sorry, everybody.
Dominic just beat up a guy who he thought was hitting on his wife and now hot steamy in the car. Nice. Made it to chapter 22 of 33 in King of Obsession. Nice job.
Oh, wow. Okay. I am 50% of the way through this book today. That's good. I feel like I hide the percentage sometimes in mine when I'm reading them so that I don't get caught up on it. But I knew this one was long, and I was like, I feel like I was getting too distracted, but I'm at 55% of it, so I should finish it.
I love this book has unbelievably short chapters because it's just every time they switch POVs. So I feel like I'm flying because I'm on chapter like 49, but it's a pretty short book. I'll finish it eventually. I'll probably finish it tonight during the game, which did start 30 minutes ago, so I do have to end these, but thank you for joining. Whose channel is it on tomorrow? I know you posted a schedule.
Yep, it's Amber tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central. So I'm going off of Central Time ones. So
okay,
4 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Okay, so
1 a.m. UK.
Oops, wrong thing. Oh gosh, I feel so sorry for her that she has such a time jump.
I know. But she joins. She wants to be here. So
yeah, that's awesome.
It was easier when we did it. Nope, go ahead. Say bye.
No, I was like, thank you everybody that joined, and hopefully everyone can join tomorrow. Bye.
You understand?
Bye, friends.